Hey guys, what's up? Shaner here. Today we're going to be taking a look at Greater Rift 51 as a solo barbarian in Season 1, patch 2.1.1. Unfortunately, this looks like it's going to be my last Greater Rift clear of the season, and there's a long story behind that, and it's kind of messed up, but here it goes. Alright, so basically what happened from the start is the devs always told us that they would let us know 1 month in advance before Season 1 would end. Basically what happened with Season 1 is they weren't really sure how long it was going to last, how long they wanted it to last. Originally they told us around 2 to 3 months. But it's actually turned out to be like somewhere around like 5 months. I don't know. I haven't really been counting, but it's been a long time. And throughout the season, I've been, pushing Greater Rifts and stuff like that. I've been uploading all my clears and my progression to YouTube, and I always for the whole season, I kind of just wanted to stay around top 10 on the bar boards, and I did manage to do that for most of the season. Anyways, a long time was going by, the game was getting a little stale. I got up to Greater Rift 50, and getting Greater Rift 51 plus keys was quite difficult, especially since you can't get them as a barbarian. You have to get an alt crusader, and then you need to find 2 of the best demon hunters in the world to help you get your keys, and it was a bit ridiculous. Anyways, the patch 2.1.2 PTR came out, and at that point I figured, since they haven't really announced that the season is ending in a month, I could go on the PTR, figure out all these changes, play around with the barb, figure out new builds, play around with the patch, see what the Greater Rifts are about. Basically, just figure out the entire patch so I'm prepared for next season. And so that, I can make videos and cover the patch, let you guys know what's going on and what to expect. Post my build videos for the patch and everything. And all the meantime, I thought, what? They're going to let us know a month in advance when Season 1's ending, so when they do that, I'm going to get back on Season 1, and a month is plenty of time to try to push as far as I can and continue. Well, the while that I was on the PTR, of course my ranking was dropping. It actually dropped from rank 4 all the way down to like rank 16 or something, and because I was spending time on the PTR. Anyways, the day finally came. They announced that Season 1 was ending. And you know what? Well, here, let me tell you this first. Basically, what happened in patch 2.1.2, or at least the PTR, it actually just came out today, but they made changes to the barb, but they also made changes to Greater Rifts. Now, basically, with the barb's actually still really good, but it's different. What they did was they took the pull away from the barb. As you can see, the pull right there, how much lag that caused, it was problematic, and they didn't really like the way it played out in groups. They felt like it was kind of selfish, grabbing all the mobs and running away, or what you could do potentially with the barb, which is silly, but I agree with the fact that once you got enough mobs, you'd start lagging the game. It was to the point where you'd have to be able to predict the lag to play well in these high Greater Rifts, and I think that's a problem. Anyways, they changed the barb, they took the pull away, and they actually gave it more single target, and it's actually good. It's actually a little more powerful than it is now. The thing is, in Greater Rifts, they changed conduit pylons. Conduit pylons in 2.1.1, this current patch, are the way you kill rift bosses. You find a conduit pylon, and you spawn the boss next to it, you pop the pylon, and the boss is dead in like 5 seconds. That's a little OP. Now, without a conduit pylon in this current 2.1.1 patch, it would take you forever to kill a boss as a barb. Barb has like no single target. you know, Greater Rift like 43, 44, 45 maybe is like tops with in 2.1.1 without a conduit pylon. In the new patch, you actually have to single target, and I mean, Barb's single target is still not the best, but I've cleared 46 and 47, which were like rank 4 clears on the PTR. And in those clears, I killed the boss in around, I don't know, anywhere from like 4 to 6 minutes. It really depends. A power pylon helps a little bit, but not like immensely. It might shave like a minute off the kill, if that. So overall, the Barb's actually doing really good. And if you took the current 2.1.1 Barb and put him in 2.1.2 patch, he would be horrible because you'd have no way to kill the boss. And we would probably get the lowest solo clears out of every class as a Barbarian. And that would kind of suck. So, you know, the changes to Barb, it wasn't a nerf in any way. Actually, like I said, you know, we gained a lot of single target. And it's pretty good. It's not necessarily a nerf, it's just a change. Barbs are different. So that's what happened. That's what happened in this patch change. But the thing is, in this current patch 2.1.1, you're able to clear so high because Conduit Pylon instantly kills your boss for you. And that's the reason why Barbs are getting so much higher in 2.1.1 than they can in 2.1.2. It's not because Barbs got nerfed, it's simply because they took Conduit Pylon out, which is cheesy in the first place and doesn't, you know, prove that the Barb's powerful in any way. So again, it's not a nerf. I know a lot of people are gonna look at it that way just because they'll look at numbers on the board in Season 1 and then look at numbers on the board in Season 2 and see 56 in Season 1 and see 50 in Season 2 and think, oh, they nerfed Barb. Not the case. Not the case. But anyways, let's get back to the story. Alright, so they said they would basically give us a month in advance, let us know when the season is ending. So like I said, I was on the PTR figuring everything out, coming up with my build, making the videos and stuff like that, and I was doing all that. And then they came around and said Season 1 is ending in a month. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I guess now I have to go back on the live server and make my last attempts at Greater Rifts. Anyways, after, you know, a few days, I didn't start right away because I was like, I have a month, so I waited a few days and then I got back on. And when I got back on, basically they came up with another forum post saying that they were going to release patch 2.1.2 3 weeks prior to the season ending. So what that did was completely lock the Barb leaderboards down. At this current time, you know, in patch 2.1.1, like I said, you could get a lot higher in Greater Rifts than you can because of the Conduit Pylons being taken out. Or not taken out, but just nerfed. So what that does is basically the Barbs who ran their Greater Rifts in 2.1.1 are obviously going to be able to get way higher than 2.1.2, so that completely locks the leaderboards down for Barbarian. On the other hand, say for a class like Monk, in 2.1.2, Monks are actually able to clear a lot higher. And they could get to like around 50-ish on the live server. I think like 44 was the highest on US for solo Monk. So what that does for Monk, which is almost, I think, even worse, is they completely reset the leaderboards for Monk. I mean, all the time spent, that all the work those monks put in to hold their spot on the leaderboards for Season 1 is completely irrelevant now. Because anyone with a monk with decent gear could slam their head against the keyboard and get a Greater Rift 44 clear. The top people are going to be competing for like 50-ish now. 44 is going to be like in the hundreds. That, like, the rank's going to be in the hundreds, 400. I don't even know, but it's going to be ridiculous. The rank 1 current person is just completely reset for Season 1. So it messed a lot of things up. And I think it's a case, I'm not really hating on the devs, but I think it was a situation where it's either give the majority of our players something new, early, so they could, start playing and figuring things out, even though they had the PTR to figure everything out if they really wanted to, right? That's what I did. I mean, you had the PTR, it was there, they could have played it. Why do they need to figure everything out on the current season? It's a bit ridiculous, but they wanted to get that out early, and in turn, they knew that it would hurt, the hardcore players, the people who are pushing the Greater Rift leaderboards. So that happened, and they posted that they were going to release it. And they posted that they were going to release 2.1.2. Like, what was it? 3 seasons? I'm sorry. 3 weeks earlier. 3 weeks prior to the season 1 ending. So the last 3 weeks of the season would be patch 2.1.2, which is the season 2 patch. And like I said, that completely locks down the leaderboards, but they only let us know like 4 days in advance or something like that, which is ridiculous. So basically, everyone just got hit with this news, like as a barb, I got hit with this news, and it was like basically saying, hey, finish up your Greater Rifts, you got 4 more days to get as high as you can. And for a person like me who just took a month off to go play the PTR and kind of left my live account alone for a little while so I could figure everything out and test their PTR patch for them, I come back to this. On top of that, an exploit was released. An exploit that apparently a few select people knew about for a very long time, because I mean, it's in the game and people knew about it. And what this exploit was that you could take 4 players into a 1-person trial, making getting Greater Rift 60 keys really trivial with a decent group. So now, with all this, everyone is spending like it has like 3 or 4 days to use this exploit to get these high-ranking keys, and with this little bit of time to try to push as high as they could go. And it was just a mess, because when it comes down to it, it's RNG to clear these Greater Rifts, and the way to beat the RNG is persistence. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep going and going and popping keys until you get the right rift. Now, when you're limited with like 3 or 4 days to do this, it's all gonna come down to luck. I mean, obviously you have to get the gear and everything, and it's luck in the first place, but as a player who could spend a lot of time and put a lot of time into it, you could actually, make the whole randomness, you could kind of tone it down a little bit, because if you pop hundreds and hundreds of keys, eventually you're bound to get a rift that's so good that you'll be able to clear it. The really good rift that the player ahead of you has. If you pop enough keys, you'll be able to get a rift very, very similar, better, if not better than that person. So that's what happened. Basically, I thought I'd have a month, along with everyone else. We thought we'd have a month left to make our last Greater Rift pushes. I figured, I'd move back up on the leaderboards, climb the ranks again, get my highest clear before the season one ended, and I'd be able to maintain my spot for season 1 on the leaderboards that are going to be there forever. But in the end, my time got cut short because of this change the developers decided to make. And it's a little unfair, and it is what it is, and I'm not discrediting anyone's clears. I'm not really mad at the devs or anything. I bet it was a really tough decision, and, I bet a lot of them didn't quite agree with it, but it is what it is. Anyways, like I said, it is what it is. That's it, guys. That's what happened. So we're just gonna have to look forward to season 2. Gonna have to look forward to season 2, but I think I've learned my lesson with this game that, you know, no matter what the devs say, I always have to always be on top of everything, because no matter what we're told, anything could happen at any time. So always got to be aware of that, because, you know, this change completely broke the integrity of the whole Greater Rift leaderboard system. Like, you know, it just, it sucks. It just flat out sucks. I'm not happy with it, but it is what it is. It's over now, and I'm not going to sit here and cry about it, but I did want to share this with you guys so, you know, anyone who's curious could understand what happened. That's it for today. Can't talk. That's it for today, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you want, like, subscribe, share, it'd be much appreciated, and I will see you guys later.